The rain hadn't stopped for 3 hours, and neither had she. I saw her first as a shape in my headlights, a girl walking barefoot along the shoulder of Route 9, soaked to the bone, hugging her arms against a cold that had nothing to do with the weather. It was almost midnight. There were no gas stations for 20 miles, no houses, no reason for anyone to be out there except to disappear. I want to say I hesitated because I was cautious. The truth is, I almost drove past her. I was tired, running on 4 hours of sleep and a week that had already taken everything I had to give. But something about the way she kept walking, not toward anything, just away, made me pull over. If you believe that small moments of kindness can change a life, hit like on this video right now, drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. Share this with someone who needs a reminder that people can still be good, and subscribe to Kindness so you never miss a story like this one. I rolled down the window and asked if she needed a ride. She looked at me the way you'd look at a stranger offering candy flat, suspicious, already halfway to a joke to protect herself. "Is this how you pick up girls?" she said, water dripping off her chin, voice cracking despite the sarcasm. I told her no, this was how I made sure a girl didn't end up as a headline. She almost smiled. Almost. Sapi Wadi. Her name was Mara. She didn't tell me that until we'd been driving for 10 minutes in silence, the wipers slapping back and forth like a metronome, counting down something neither of us understood yet. I didn't ask why she was out there. I'd learned a long time ago that people tell you the truth when they're ready, not when you demand it. So I just drove, heater on high, and let her thaw out in the passenger seat of my old Corolla, like she was something fragile I'd found in the snow. Eventually she talked. Not everything, not that first night, but enough. She'd left home 3 days earlier after a fight with her stepfather that ended with a slammed door and a promise to herself that she wouldn't go back. She'd been staying with a friend, then that friend's boyfriend made her uncomfortable, then she had nowhere, and pride is a strange thing. It will make a 19-year-old girl walk for miles in the rain, rather than call anyone and admit she needed help. I understood that better than she knew. 5 years earlier, I'd been the one standing on the edge of my own life with nothing but a duffel bag and a stubborn refusal to ask for help. A stranger had let me sleep on his couch for 2 weeks while I got back on my feet. No questions, no conditions. I never got the chance to repay him. He passed away before I could find him again. So I made a quiet promise that I'd pass it forward whenever the moment came. I just never expected the moment to look like a girl walking alone on a highway at midnight, throwing sarcasm at me like armor. I didn't take her home that night. I took her to a 24-hour diner instead, bought her a plate of eggs and toast, and let her eat in peace while I called a friend who ran a small women's shelter 2 towns over. It wasn't glamorous, a shared room, a curfew, rules about chores and check-ins, but it was safe, and safe was the only thing Mara needed right then. She didn't want to go. She told me she'd rather sleep in a bus station than owe anyone anything. I told her this wasn't about owing. Kindness isn't a loan. It doesn't come with interest, she went, reluctantly, and I thought that might be the end of it. People pass through your life sometimes like weather, dramatic, unforgettable, and then gone. I didn't expect to hear from her again. But 3 weeks later, she called the number I'd left with the shelter director, and her voice sounded different. Steadier. She'd gotten a part-time job at a grocery store. She was saving for her own place. She wanted to know if I'd meet her for coffee, because apparently strangers who rescue you from highways at midnight deserve at least one proper conversation that doesn't involve rain. We met. She told me more that day than she had in the car about a childhood that had taught her to expect disappointment before affection, about a mother who tried her best, but couldn't shield her from a man who made the house feel like a minefield. She told me she'd almost gotten into a stranger's car twice before mine, and both times something had made her back away. She said she didn't know why she trusted me. I told her it probably wasn't about trust at all. Sometimes you're just too exhausted to keep running, and you take the hand that happens to be there. Over the following months, I watched her rebuild herself in the way people do when they finally have room to breathe. She moved into a studio apartment above a laundromat, decorated it with furniture found on curbsides, and painted with colors she picked herself for the first time in her life. She enrolled in community college, deciding on social work, because she wanted to be the person who stopped on the highway for someone else, the way I had stopped for her. She started therapy. She started sleeping through the night. Slowly, the girl who'd flung sarcasm like armor became a woman who could sit in silence without flinching, who could accept a compliment without deflecting it, who could ask for help without feeling like she was failing. I'd love to say I did something extraordinary that night, but I didn't. I made a 5-minute decision to slow my car down instead of speeding past a stranger in the rain. That's it. That's the whole heroic act, noticing someone and refusing to look away. It cost me nothing but a little time and a diner breakfast, and it gave Mara a door back into a life she thought had already closed on her. She still calls sometimes. Usually on anniversaries she's made up herself: the day she got the job, the day she signed her lease, the day she stopped waiting for someone to save her and realized she was doing the saving herself. Last month, she sent me a photo of her college ID with a caption that just said, "Look, who's not walking alone anymore." I sat with that message longer than I probably should have, because it reminded me that we never really know which 5 minutes of our lives will matter most. We plan for the big moments and forget that most of the good we do in this world happens in small, unscheduled seconds. A pulled-over car, a shared meal, a door held open for someone who has forgotten what open doors feel like. If this story moved something in you, if it made you think about the times someone stopped for you, or the times you wished someone had, please take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Your support helps stories like Mara's reach the people who need them most, and it keeps this channel alive so we can keep telling them. Before you go, I want to ask you something. Somewhere down in the comments, tell me about a time a stranger's small act of kindness changed the direction of your life. Even a little. I read every single one, and I promise you, someone else reading this will need to hear your story exactly the way you needed to hear Mara's tonight. She isn't walking alone on that highway anymore. And because you watched until the end, maybe somewhere out there, someone else won't have to either.